He roasts coffee, and he's got a fantastic mustache. So, of course, we had to have him on this week at Mustaches and Coffee. It's Evan from Suede Brews.
Pour the coffee.
Top of the mustache to you, and welcome to another episode of Mustaches and Coffee. Where the topic goes, nobody knows. I'm Isaac.
I'm Ben.
I'm Evan.
And we're glad to have all you mustache and coffee lovers with us, and a huge welcome into our special guest, Evan. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. It's great to have you, and we're so excited. Yeah, because you have you're rocking that mustache. That's something I don't think everybody can pull off. So looking great on our end. We give you a thumbs up.
Thank you. And now I have a gnat that just wants to beat the crap out of me all of a sudden.
And I have to ask, because I forget, Ben, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, had a good day.
Fantastic. Well, before we jump in with this interview, we're so excited to have Evan on with us, but we want to be sure we do our due diligence just for ones that want to be able to find us. So, Ben, where can people find us on our social platforms?
Yeah, so you can check out Mustaches and Coffee podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at Stash and Joe. We're on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to us and ring the bell notification. That way, when new episodes come out, you can be notified. And if you have any questions for us, just email us at mustachesandcoffee@yahoo.com.
There you go. So be sure to give us a follow and a like and all that good stuff. So we appreciate all of you. But let's get down to it. We're so excited again to have our special guest with us. So maybe just start with your business and what you're doing. What got you into coffee and just thinking, hey, this is something I want to do professionally?
Oh, geez, now that's a long story. You ever sip Folgers?
It's been a while.
Yeah. That was my introduction to coffee. My dad had me drink it black, and I was like 12 years old, and I spit it out, but it didn't stop me. We had a local coffee shop that roasts their own coffee back in my hometown. That I went there, spent the money that I made selling sodas to my siblings, and got their coffee there, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. This is so much different than that cup of Folgers. So that's really where it all blossomed. And then, flash forward however many years that is past that, I'm here. I started my own roasting coffee business here this year. We've been doing great. We're not fully self-sustainable yet, but been doing really well, and started our own podcast as well that I'm sure we'll have you guys on.
Very nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, with so many coffee brands, you got the big box chains, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. What makes your brand the quality better and different, would you say?
So there's a lot to coffee, especially quality wise as well. I don't really for one, I don't believe in competition. There's always room for another coffee roaster, another coffee shop. But getting coffee that is harvested within the year, not 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, sitting in a shipping container growing mold. That's a big key part. So all of mine is harvested within within a year. That's a thing that I have with my importer to make sure it's not anywhere past that. I think the last bag of my Indonesian Sumatra that I got, Heartbreak Harmony, was harvested 4 months ago, and I got it a month and a week ago. So having that definitely brings out a lot more flavors to your coffee, and small batch. If it's a 3 kilo or below in batches, it tastes so much more incredibly better. It's fantastic. And I'm 600 grams, so I'm partial even of that. So a lot of roasts 5 days a week to get maybe 200 to 300 pounds sold in a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Wow. I was just kind of admiring your site. So maybe tell us about your business because you roast the coffee, correct? You're not like a coffee shop, so to say, but you sell like bags of coffee that you roast yourself.
Correct. Yeah, all of mine is small batch and all roasted. If it's not within a degree and within 15 seconds of where it needs to be in my roast curves and rate of rise and everything, there's so much science behind coffee. And I'm not specific just on the science. I'm passionate as well. There's too much science if you go that route. But if like a degree or two above or 15 seconds past or before, that doesn't happen often anymore, but that batch gets thrown into my suspicious grinds bin that I then
Ah,
sell later at the market for $5 a bag because it changes it. A degree or two changes how the coffee tastes, which makes it not the same of what I'm currently selling. So
Wow.
that's a big tough thing because especially my 600-gram roaster, I don't hit duplicate. I have to play with the dials all throughout the roast and make it that way.
awesome. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's difficult. Ooh.
Sounds like it.
Oh yeah.
And what was the rest of the question?
Just I was looking at the site. I'm sorry. So
Oh, that's right.
one thing I was going to maybe add, I noticed. So with your name, Blue Suede Brews, is there any kind of Elvis incorporation there? I'm guessing.
Yeah. So last name is Presley, and he was our
Ah.
sixth cousin. Distant but no money, so I'm using the name.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Same
That's
with like
very cool.
our coffee names are like we got Heartbreak Harmony, which is a medium roast Indonesian. Moody Brews, which is a dark roast. Fool's Gold, which if anybody is a real Elvis fan, they knows that's his nickname for the peanut butter and banana sandwich.
That's right. That's interesting. Very cool. I like the theming. So I was
Yeah,
just noticing that, but very, very cool.
yeah,
That
yeah. And then that was my father helped come up with a lot of it before he passed. So it was like
Oh,
most of
okay.
these were his ideas that he was helping me come up with it. But like I was so thankful I got a year that I never would have got to spend with him when he got sick. But that's what it's kind of an Easter egg. Not many people know, but the O in coffee. We're huge Tolkien nerds, like every book, not just the Lord of the Rings. So that's a little tribute to him, the One Ring.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Little things like that is really neat. You wouldn't. I was noticing that. Oh, but I was wondering if it had some kind of significance. So very nice.
Yep, yep, yep.
Now, with the roasting process, is there a machine that certain machine that you have that any you would recommend for anybody who's getting into small batch roasting?
Small batch. The Caldi brand makes like 300 and 400-gram roasters that you can do over your stovetop.
Oh, cool.
It's not going to be very consistent because it doesn't have like data logger and thermocouplers that track temperatures. And then you can go all the way up to mine, which is it's not even that much. The Caldi Fortis Plus, which has basically everything a commercial roaster has, compacted very, very tight, very small. So it works the same, just doesn't have all the technology for recording everything. You have to do that manually.
All right. That's a
Awesome.
good to keep in mind. And again, you mentioned how you roast the beans yourself. You're kind of like they say you're out of your own garage. If someone were to do something similar, do you have any tips, or if they're thinking about getting into the world of coffee, even if it is just roasting, maybe not a coffee shop?
Just do it. I mean, honestly, we spend so much time thinking about it. If you have any passion for wanting to do this, it, go get a like if you have the credit, go get a 0% interest card for 15 months. Put it on there. You will make the money back if you care about it.
Yeah.
I mean, in the first month and a half, I think it was month and a half, we made that much money back, and it was paid for the roaster and everything that it was to set up that workshop to meet the requirements of Department of Agriculture as well. So it's like just
Oh,
do it.
sweet.
It's a hobby, right? But it's also like it can make it money. Whereas if you go spend $3,000 on a computer and you just play video games on it, what is that going to do for you?
Right.
Like,
Very nice. Good
Yeah.
tip.
now, if there is, like we said, there's the roasting process. Is there any thing that you would recommend other than a roaster for somebody who, say, they just grew up drinking Folgers coffee, like you mentioned? Any sort of type of brand, type of roast or anything?
I would recommend finding a local roaster and just buying their coffee and see the difference for yourself. I'm not even going to go as far as like, oh, buy my coffee. I don't care. Go to your local roaster so you can keep the money locally and try them out and see the difference yourself. If you can't find one, order online, suedbrewscoffee.com. I have a sample pack, 3-ounce bags for like $15 for all 4 of them. Then you can try them out. But try to find someone local first. Support local.
Yeah. Local's
hear
the
that.
way to go.
Yep.
For sure. We're about that too, and making sure, sometimes those chains they can't compare to what you can get locally. So that's kind of a nice taste of, even though we can't really taste your coffee. I wish we could, making me want a cup of coffee from you
We can get there.
and try it out. But
Oh, we'll get it.
we'll be sure to. But that's kind of a nice little taste of you. But what we like to do on Mustaches and Coffee, we like to do what's called universal questions. So we got a little bit about your business and such, but these are going to be a little more directed towards you, Evan. So Ben's got the questions for that. I'm going to spin it over to Ben. So Ben, take it away.
All right. So if you were trapped on a desert island, what one item would you bring?
God, it's going to sound so cliche. Coffee.
Perfect.
I mean, how much?
As much as you want.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be fine. I
Yeah.
can figure it out. I can live somehow, and then I can at least still have coffee. I don't know how anybody lives without coffee.
Infinite coffee. Wow. That's wow. That's pretty amazing to think about.
Right. All you can do is boil water. So, cowboy coffee, you're good.
There you go.
I think I want to go to this island now.
Right?
Yes. The island of
Now
coffee.
paradise. Yeah.
Yes.
Heck, you could probably grow it on there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Maybe that's how you do it. I like it.
So, next one. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Ooh. Any cartoon character. This one might take me a minute.
It is hard.
I've been watching so much Disney with my daughter that I can't think of like the cartoons I watched.
They all blend together sometimes. I understand.
Patrick Star.
There we go.
Patrick.
That's a good one. Good one.
Honestly, yeah, be a great one. No, this is Patrick.
Hopefully you wouldn't be trapped on the island with him.
That's entertainment.
Can I get some coffee?
That's true. It could be entertaining. I like that.
Yep.
Coffee and Patrick.
Coffee and Patrick.
So the next one, do you have any hidden talents?
I sing.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, with the last name Presley, right? Yeah, my whole family sings. My wife says I'm good, but I always think I'm mediocre. But yeah, my whole family has sang, and there was like some thing that you had to try out for in high school if you wanted to. It's like a chamber ensemble, and you had to be good to even get in it. And we got in it every 4 years, or all 4 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very nice. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
This one's not cliche. I'm not going to do the teleportation or the flying. Right? I had to do something cool.
Infinite coffee maker?
You guys watch what was it called? It's on Amazon. Bad Guys? No.
I can't honestly say I have, no.
Is it Bad Guys or The Boys?
I've heard of it.
That one, go
I've
watch
heard
it. Really,
I've heard of
really
it.
weird comedy, funny, and has some really unique superpowers. Um, Man, I mean, really, just like it depends on what you're doing in your life at this moment, right? Because if somebody says like laser vision to kill their enemies, you know something's not going right. Uh, Flying, I feel like I'd get splattered on a airplane.
It would be fun while you did it, though.
It
Yes.
would.
You could go fly and harvest some coffee beans.
Yeah.
You
I'll
could
do
get it from Brazil. Yeah.
I have Brazil. That's my fool's gold.
Awesome.
Nice.
What is it called? Controlling like objects without even
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis. Yeah, that'd be pretty rad.
Yeah.
That'd be
like,
cool.
oh, the remote's over there. Thanks. God.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So we do have to ask you, what's your favorite mustache?
Probably the handlebar.
Yeah, of course.
It's the most like unique. I don't like the very thin one above somebody's lip. I always hate it. There's my least favorite.
Very nice. I like it best and worst. I feel like sometimes those mustaches you're talking about looks like they just drew it on. It's not very
mascara.
Right. Not authentic. You got to have an authentic mustache, and that just, even if it is real, it doesn't look authentic. So I understand that one. I'm with you. So, like he said, what's your favorite mustache? We have to ask you, being Mustaches and Coffee, what's your favorite coffee? And that I'm sure you can take your time with, or maybe it's an easy
Loaded
question. I don't know.
An easy one.
Easy.
French pressed. We French press everything, and it's not like I don't care for pour overs. It's just too much work for a pour over if you're bringing out the scale and everything. But we French press, and then we have our Heartbreak Harmony, which is the Indonesian Sumatra medium roast, and then you get notes of chocolate, cherry, and almond. So good black, and it's if you add a little oat milk and sugar to it, that cherry note comes out more, and it's fantastic.
Ooh,
and good
sounds awesome.
as well.
That does sound good. Yeah. If anything this has done is it's making me want to order some of your coffee, because you've got some unique flavors I'm seeing on there. So I think I'm going to have to add that to my cart right now. So that's wonderful. But that's gets you a little bit off of the hot seat. That's the questions that we have for you. But that was fantastic. We really enjoyed those answers there. So yeah, it's very spur of the moment, right? Very, very much. So we go ahead. With that being said, we thank you for coming on. We're gonna kind of wrap things up, though. We're gonna move into our last segment.
Last drop.
Brought to you by Contempa Coffee and Roastery. Visit our store or our site at contemparoast.com today. Take it away, Ben.
Home prices are out of control. It seems like you can only afford half of a house. Turns out you can. A California house recently had a tree fall through their roof and split half of the house in two. It turns out that, according to the California government, because it's considered an act of God, and with the market being so high, you can purchase half of this house for $500,000. With a little over 300 square feet left, you can buy this house. That's what I got.
Interesting. Are you in the market for a new house there, Evan, or that much space?
I was going to say, actually, I forgot to mention, I'm also a real estate agent with Sanford Real Estate.
Really? That's perfect.
There you go.
I was like, oh, that's neat. Some new laws, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe you could represent them then, help them try and sell it, because I mean, I'm sure they could use all the help they can get, right?
California, different state.
Yeah.
They're a different test.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, bummer.
It's not a bummer. I don't want to go to California. Or go to California. For any California listeners, you can hang.
It is higher prices, so I'm wondering, maybe that's something to look up later, like the price differential of that much square footage in another state with half of it gone. Yeah, the tree down the middle.
It's
all right.
Also funny that you brought that up too, because Sanford Real Estate had a 120-year-old tree just fall through the house that is the
Oh.
building for our like work, I guess, or like where our office is. So it's cut
Wow.
the building in half.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
I guess we need to be aware of these falling trees. Maybe that's a
Yeah,
public service announcement.
I
Yes,
was like, I don't know
beware of falling
how we do
trees.
about this.
Just falling. I mean, trees fall. Let's, act like that doesn't happen. But on houses, that's, I don't know. Maybe,
But yeah.
yeah. Just be aware of falling trees. If you're out there listening to this, just be aware of your surroundings at the very least.
Yes.
So, well, thank you for that, Ben, as always. So, before we wrap up, though, we want to be sure we let everyone know where you can get this delicious coffee at with Evan. So, Evan, if you want to be sure to tell people maybe some social media links and your website, we want to open this up to you.
Yeah, so you can find our coffee at bluesuedebrewscoffee.com. We have Instagram, just Blue Suede Brews Coffee, Facebook, same thing. I think there's LLC on the end of the Facebook one. Our YouTube, same. It's like, it's all the same handle on every platform and TikTok as well. So you can find us on any one of those. I do live stream on TikTok some days in the morning. During the weekdays, it really depends on how much work I have to do. And then, we have our own video podcast as well. That's hopefully soon on Spotify and iTunes as well. Doing pretty similar thing, interviewing small businesses. We go on for like 2 hours sometimes. So it's definitely a chat. But it's all about business and, things, how success, their story, that whole shebang. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Excellent. That sounds very intriguing to us because that's what we like to do too. We like coffee and we like to do podcasts. So it pretty much goes hand in hand. We knew you were going to be a great guest for us in that way. Very, very coincides together, if you want to put it that way. So, well, once again, we want to thank you so much for coming on. We had such a fun time. It's just how we like to do things. It's like catching up with someone over coffee. So you're welcome back anytime. We'd love to catch up with you sometime and see how your business is going. And we just wish the best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So that'll pretty much do it here for now, though, at Mustaches and Coffee. But as we always say, don't bash the stash.
I need espresso for the depresso.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.